What up, everybody? How's everyone's Wednesday going? I wanted to highlight Melissa. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Nightbot command for all of my members within the last week. Thank you. It means the world to me. I appreciate it so much. So I'm going to say hi to everyone in chat. Wisco, are you still here? How are you? Hey, Gray Squirrel. Kiki, I'm not familiar with this case, but I'll look into it. I don't know if you're still here or not, but I will definitely look into it. The name isn't familiar to me, but I will check it out. Tracy, how are you today? Megs. Michael, how are you? Why are you saying no? What's going on, Michael? How are you doing? If you guys get a chance, hit the like button. It helps us get into the algorithm, and also share on your socials if you don't mind. But if not, that's completely okay too. Michael, so LOL. So you just come in saying no and then you laugh. God bless to you also, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, Michael. Hey, Killshot, welcome in. Gonna let a few more people join in. And I'll go ahead and talk about a little bit about the membership. So mine aren't like super complicated, and so pretty much the first tier is members only live streams. I'm going to do a members only live stream probably once a week, and I will let you guys know ahead of time what day of the week that'll be, and it'll be just a live stream for the members only, just to chat, have fun, hang out, and chill. And on tier 2, priority reply to comments, members only polls. I will start doing polls to see what you guys are interested in me covering. If there's a certain case that you're wanting me to look into or to dive into, cover, talk about, we'll do that. I'll start doing polls. And then tier 3 is your social media shout outs. So if you're interested, you can email me your links to your socials and I will make sure that those get out. I will do member only videos. So that will be only available to tier 3. But honestly, I mean, most of my videos I put public. So it's not really like, I will definitely do members only vids for you guys. And it won't necessarily always be, true crime, missing persons. I like to cover a different range of topics. I do focus mainly on the missing and true crime, but I will be focusing on other things that interest me as well. So you can look for those in the members only videos. And then once I have, and this is not, I'm not in any rush for this, but later on down the road, I will have a Discord for my members only. And that will be later though, because it will be a separate Discord server that I'll start. But I'm also just kind of giving it some thought about Discord just in general. But it just will be a place to hang out. We can chat about future cases and things you guys want to see, and just a different way for you to reach out and talk to me off of YouTube. So, but those are the things coming. Like I said, I appreciate all of you. All of you that have become a member. I really appreciate it. Hi, Kristen. Good afternoon. Maybe it was a no to kill shot. I don't know. Not sure. Hi, MJ. Thank you for becoming a member. You're getting a bite to eat, but listening. What are you getting to eat? Right? Everybody blames everything on kill shots. Michael, for dinner tonight, we are having like a stir fry that my cousin cooked up for us. So that's what we're having. And the like command is back. So if you're a moderator and you want to drop the like command, it's back. I fixed it for you all. What did I miss? You don't blame. I don't blame you, Killshot. Oh, you don't blame him for things, right? Okay, so yeah, and again, I want to do more like open panels. So after I cover the content, if there's anyone who wants to jump on panel, even just to say hello, talk about anything that I go over, let me know and I will get you the link some kind of way. I don't drop it in chat, but I can try to get you the link some other kind of way. So just let me know and we can do that. All right, let me pull up the first thing I was going to cover. So, shout out to Moon Kitten for sending me this information. I don't know if she's able to be here, but this is something that she sent me that she really wanted me to touch up on. So, this is for Moon Kitten, and I found it interesting as well. I see that Megs became a new member. Thank you for joining, Megs. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I love you all. All right, so this is a story. So it's a teen kidnapping victim that was rescued after flashing a help me sign in California. So you have I believe she's a 13-year-old. This was updated on July 23rd. So a 13-year-old girl was recently able to escape her kidnapper by flashing a help me sign from a parked car, alerting passersby that she was in danger. According to the Long Beach Police Department in California, the teenager had been abducted in Texas on July 6th after the suspect approached her in San Antonio while she was waiting for a bus. So he abducted her in San Antonio, and here it said in California. So it looks like he was able to get a pretty good distance with her, which is scary. Okay, so let's see. So he approached her in San Antonio while she was waiting for a bus. Police say the suspect pointed a gun at the girl and demanded she get in his car. Court documents. So this is obviously at a much higher level now. It's already in the court system. Obtained by ABC News said the suspect raised a black handgun to his side and told the victim to get into his gray Nissan Sentra. He allegedly said, "If you don't get in the car with me, I am going to hurt you." The documents revealed that he allegedly told her he would take her on a cruise ship to visit a friend in Australia, but she had to do something for him first. That in itself is disgusting. Like, seriously? Oh, thank you for the is it super sticker, super chat? I'm new to this, y'all. I think it's a sticker. I don't know. So Kristen, when you do a super chat, and I think that's what this is, you have to like there's a little option for you to type a message, or you don't even have to. Like I said, I am kind of still new to all the memberships, but thank you for the super whatever this is. I appreciate it. A super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. I agree, Michael. It is. And then he's telling her that he's going to take her on a cruise to see what was it exactly? Take her on a cruise ship to visit a friend in Australia. And this 13-year-old girl did it. She got into his car, but again, she probably saw the gun. He threatened to harm her. So, but it gets better. This is one of those stories that where you're like, the parents are teaching their children the things that they can do if they ever get into situations like this. Sadly, though, he did go on to SA her numerous times over the coming days as he transported her across state lines from Texas to California. It was on July 9th when the suspects stopped at a Long Beach laundromat to wash their clothes that the girl was able to connect with Good Samaritans by scrawling the words "Help me" on a piece of crumpled up paper and flashing it to people from inside the car. They immediately called 911, police said. So that's why I said this little girl was very smart. She did, the right thing. Someone taught her along the lines of what to do in this kind of situation. And that's what I think is very important that we can take from like these types of situations is having the kids aware of different like the signs for like if they're in need of help, or like this little girl did, she found a way to do it. Oh wait, what am I missing in chat? It doesn't show it on this side. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Okay. Thought I was missing out on something. Yes, MJ is a member. So I'm gonna put this one back on the screen. And Megs, I will add you to this list. And as the list grows, I will try to add all of you. But eventually it'll be a thank you to all my members because it won't let me have too many characters to put everyone's name. But you guys know that I love you all and I appreciate you all for becoming members. All right, let's see. Hey, Grace Squirrel, welcome back. Oh, thank you, Kristen. Thank you, thank you. You've been a huge, huge support system for me. All of you guys have been. I appreciate you all. Let's see. So maybe if I change how the comment looks, you think, Kristen? Maybe if I do just this one? No, it doesn't have the message on it. That's weird. I don't know, Kristen. I don't know why it didn't show the words. Does it show it on the YouTube side? It doesn't show it here. I'm not sure. It's YouTube, so. Oh, okay, you forgot the message. I got you. All right, so again, she wrote the words "help me," and they called 911 immediately. When police responded, they came across the man standing outside the car. Inside the vehicle, they found the girl, her sign, a black BB gun, which resembled a semi automatic pistol, and a pair of handcuffs. So he didn't even, I mean, he had a BB gun, but she didn't know any different, any difference. That's why she was able to just, she got into his vehicle. She was threatened. She went through all of this hell during the drive to California. But the first chance she got, she did the right thing. The suspect has been identified as 61-year-old Stephen Robert Stablin. He was transported to the Long Beach City Jail where he was booked for kidnapping, lewd and lascivious acts with a child, and being a fugitive from justice. He was booked on a $100,000 bail and was released to the custody of the FBI on July 11th. Hey, Steffa, how are you? Oh, AZ. I didn't even see AZ in chat. What's up, AZ? This is my cousin. He lives here with us. And finally, Steffa, good evening. Yeah, I told him that I needed him to go and watch it because I need the views. So He did me a solid. So thank you, AZ. Okay, so CBS News reports that, right here they spell it different. Sablin or Stablin, so Sablin. Maybe I pronounced it wrong. Who knows? He was indicted by a federal grand jury earlier this week and charged with one count of kidnapping and one count of transportation of a minor with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. If convicted on both charges, he could face life in prison. The teen, who had been previously reported as a runaway, was placed in the custody of the San Antonio Department of Children and Family Services. I want to commend our community members for their vigilance and willingness to get involved by calling 911. This this incident highlights the critical role community members play in keeping people safe, the police chief of Long Beach said. I would also like to acknowledge our officers for their swift response and actions, which led to getting this victim to safety. Okay, so I think that was all on that one, but I just want to point out the fact that she had been missing or reported as a runaway. And what do we know about cases that we've all worked on? When it's a runaway case, it seems like they get um less attention. They don't get their names and their faces out there because they're just assumed they're a runaway, they're going to be fine, and no one takes them seriously. And this girl was considered a runaway in San Antonio. And then she was kidnapped and taken to California, went through things that she shouldn't have gone through. So I am thankful that she did have the knowledge and she found what she needed to find to put the sign out, and she was rescued and he will be held accountable. So these are the kind of stories I like to point out because even though they're still dark and sinister and shouldn't be happening to our children, we have good stories like this where she was located safe and by her own doing, she saved herself and these others that were paying attention and called 911. So I thought that was awesome that she was found safe. We didn't I mean, one is too many, and we have so many missing every day. PJ, she does so many awesome lives where she puts their names and faces out there. There's way too many of these going around. But I see everyone in chat is doing the link drops for everyone's channels. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me put my banner on. I always forget. Don't forget if you're in here and Kristen or Sifa haven't already dropped your channel, you type the word link drop, all lowercase, one word, and it will automatically link to your channel. Okay, and while I wait, I'm going to pull up this other article. All right, so now shifting topics from the missing. Thank God she was found and rescued. The case that I covered with the Oregon serial killer, Jesse Lee Calhoun. And if you guys don't remember, I'll put his face up here again. But they did tie him to at least 4 of the cases in Oregon. It is ongoing, but he is definitely in custody. All right, I'm just trying to catch up in chat, make sure I don't miss anything. All right, so this article was, let's see what the date is. So this was also July 25th. So clues emerge about how poorly Jesse Lee Calhoun was monitored. Because if y'all remember when I covered it, he was released early from prison, and he went on to allegedly kill at least 4 of the women. We haven't had any confirmation that it's linked to the other 2. But like I said, it is ongoing. And right now, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So I just have to make sure I put that out there. But one of the women Calhoun is suspected of killing, Ashley Reel, filed a complaint of domestic violence, and strangulation against him. So, as investigators from multiple jurisdictions work toward indictments of suspected, and there's the huge word suspected, serial killer Jesse Lee Calhoun, WW has over the past week reported more background and context about his situation. Let me go ahead and remove his picture so y'all can follow along. We've had a few serial killers caught recently, which is nice, but wild, there's been so many, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we already had, and he's not considered a serial killer, but you have the horrible Idaho case that's already wild. All of these things unfolding with the Long Island serial killer is just insane. And then we started off looking into the cases in Oregon and not knowing if it was a serial killer. In fact, law enforcement was putting it off as no, they didn't think it was connected, but come to find out, it actually was. And this guy was in prison, in custody at one point, and he was let out on some kind of early release program that the government had put into place. So it's just sad because those women's lives could have been saved had they just kept him incarcerated. So Calhoun, 38, is in state custody at the Snake River Correctional Institution in Ontario for violating the terms of his post-incarceration supervision. Government Tina Kotek revoked a conditional commutation that former Governor Kay Brown issued to Calhoun and 40 other inmate firefighters in 2021, shaving up to 12 months off of their sentences. Kotek's office has declined to comment on Calhoun, citing a pending criminal investigation. That is the same stance that all involved police agencies and prosecutors' offices have taken. In the meantime, here's what we've learned about him since he was first identified on July 16th as a suspect in the deaths of 4 women: Kristen Smith, Charity Perry, Bridget Webster, and Ashley Reel. This picture up here is the Columbia River, and this is where the body of Charity Perry was found on April 24th. So, like I said, again, for those who may not remember, it was 6 women, all within 100 miles found. So, I mean, immediately I was just like, I mean, that says serial killer to me, but maybe not. I wasn't sure. And then we find out that it is. Not short of cases, that's for sure. Right, MJ. In fact, it's hard to actually keep up with the amount of cases and the missing persons cases, the horrible things that are going on within the true crime world, like what I'm covering right now. It just is so much all the time, every day. SIFA Indeterminate Sentencing Act. Yeah, I think that's what I had talked about on the last one whenever we found out that he was arrested. Um, yeah, it was the former governor who had did some kind of program where they were able to get early release. And that's what I'm saying, Tracy. So many get out and commit more crimes. Wasn't the one with the Henrietta House of Horrors, wasn't that kind of the same situation? He had just recently been released. Hi, Sway. How are you this evening? Oh, so that's the act that kept letting Alcala free. Oh my goodness. And that whole Alcala story, if y'all haven't already, I know Sifa talked about it on one of my lives where we were all like, none of us had really heard about this case, but Alcala was a crazy case. If you watch the documentary on ID, it was a wild one. Okay, so Calhoun may have violated the terms of his release. Public records show that on 3 occasions, Calhoun may have violated the requirement in his conditional commutation that he obey all laws after he was released early in July of 2021. In May of 2022, a Clackamas man sought a stalking order against Calhoun, alleging in a court filing that Calhoun followed and threatened him. A judge dismissed the request. In October of 2022, Calhoun was charged with and subsequently convicted of driving while suspended. In November of 2022, one of the women Calhoun is suspected of killing, Ashley Reel, filed a complaint of DV and strangulation against him with the Portland Police Bureau. So he obviously had a lot of things going on since his release. And like in this case, the case was dismissed, but it was like a stalking charge. Then we have the driving while suspended, and then Ashley Reel, which is one of the victims, filed a DV and strangulation complaint against him, and then we see where that went. So it's very disheartening to know that like he was released, he's done and still doing all these things that are against, like, he's violating the requirements in his early release thing, but yet he was still let to remain out and go on to do what he did. Oh, you're good, MJ. PPB referred the complaint to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, which, like the police bureau, declined to comment. Which I understand why they're all quiet right now. No one's really wanting to comment because it is an active and ongoing investigation. So I understand that completely why they're not commenting, but eventually things will come to light. Reel was last seen on March 27th of 2023. So Ashley Reel was one of the ones that happened this year, 4 months after she filed the complaint against Calhoun. So she filed the complaints 4 months prior and then last seen on March 27th. Her body was found in May in Clackamas County. Other inmate firefighters also stumbled after release. So records show that 11 of the 41 inmates released for their work fighting wildfires in 2020 have subsequently been arrested on felony charges, and 2 others have been arrested for misdemeanors. In none of those cases did the governor's office revoke the commutations as it did in Calhoun's case this June. Although the rates of arrest are in line with typical, I don't know how to say that word, so I'm not going to try. Findings in Oregon, the state's 2 GOP members of Congress last week asked Governor Kotek to examine the cases of the more than 1,000 inmates to whom Brown granted early release. We urge you to review every single conditional commutation granted by Governor Brown. So they're wanting all of these inmates to be looked into, to do another review on them, because you have all these other ones that have gone out and have felony charges and others with misdemeanors. The program obviously wasn't a good idea, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is just more of the legal talk of like the with Governor Brown and all that stuff there. And none of them are responding or anything at this time because it's ongoing. But it's just to say that he had this one of his victims actually complained about, DV. I don't know what came of that, but I know that 4 months later she was found, she went missing. And then she was unalived by him. So yeah. I'm just glad that they caught this guy, honestly, because I didn't know where this was going, how many more victims were going to, come up that was like in the same area. So I'm just glad that they're able to find him. Let's go. I can't English right now. Recidivism. Let's see. Recidivism. Okay, I got you. Let's go. Thank you for the English lesson. um, all right. So I came across this, and we're not going to read the entire thing. It's a lot, but it was just interesting. What causes someone to become a serial killer, and what are the signs? Now, I will point out that there is no way in my brain that I can rationalize or justify or make sense of any serial killer's mind. I don't know what in the world causes them, but I thought this article was interesting to read over and hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, I can't English most of the time. Let's go. It's mainly when it comes to these. I don't know. Especially like the names of the towns and different counties I've never heard of or never been to. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not gonna try anymore. What causes someone to become a serial killer? Let's just see. And we're just kind of reading this over together for the first time because I didn't go over all of it. Just kind of wanted to read the beginning, and then I'll drop the link if anyone's interested on reading it. So, for decades, criminologists and true crime documentaries have attempted to understand what causes serial killers to commit the atrocities they do. Dennis Rader, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Albert Del Salvo, and Ted Bundy are just a few of more than 3,600 serial killers documented in the United States as of 2020. So, this article is a little bit behind. But they do bring up recent information. So, most recently, Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old New York architect, was arrested and charged with murder in the killings of three of the Gilgo Four, a group of four women whose remains were found along a short stretch of Long Island's Gilgo Beach in 2010. Heuermann, who told his attorney he is not the killer and pleaded not guilty, is also the prime suspect in the killing of the fourth woman, but has yet to be charged in that case. So yeah, we have a lot going on with the Gilgo Beach murders and that whole thing. I can't even begin to deep dive into it because it's so complex. There's so much information coming out every single day. But I mean, if you just search on YouTube, search on Twitter, anywhere, there's so much coming out about this guy. Sifa says he has a video on what makes a serial killer. See, that's interesting stuff I like to check out. So I'll have to check that out. Wisco says our prison system is a failure, anyways. Well, I mean, I know it is a failure, but it's important to keep these guys where they should be. There's a lot of innocent people that are incarcerated. I know of a few. Just like over time that you learn that they've been sitting in the prisons and come to find out they weren't guilty and they were really being honest when they said they were innocent. But yeah, I agree, especially at like rehabilitating them, getting them the mental health they need, preparing them to be released back into the world. But then again, you also have those that no matter if they do those courses, they're still going to be the person that they are. They're still going to do what they want to do because it's something that we can't comprehend, we can't understand, and sadly, that's just the world. Our entire system needs an overhaul. I agree with that, MJ. Right, Wisco, that's what I was saying. Some can't be rehabilitated. It's just whatever is going on in their brains. I don't know. I can't understand it. And that's why I'm going to read a little bit more about this. All right, so the unsolved killings confounded authorities on Long Island's South Shore after the search for one of the missing women led investigators to find at least 10 sets of human remains in addition to hers and launched the hunt for a possible serial killer. As yet, police haven't linked Heuermann to the 8 other human remains. The Gilgo Beach serial killings have once again raised the question, how could someone do such a thing? So, in this article, there's 3 forensic psychologists and serial killer experts to better understand what causes people to become serial killers. The conversations have been edited for length and clarity. So, like I said, I did scroll and it's a lot. So, I'll go over some of it and we can chat about it. So, are serial killers born this way or are they a product of their environment? So you have Dr. Scott Bond, who is a criminologist, author, and public speaker. He says it's likely a combination of the two. Psychopaths are born that way, while sociopaths have been socialized into it. There's a spectrum, it's not black and white, and there are multiple factors. And I wish that it did have like more for him to elaborate on. To like, can you elaborate on that? Dr. Louis Schlesinger, I don't know, professor of forensic psychology at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, says it's unknown. See, and that's like a very honest, it's unknown. But there's a very strong neurobiological component to serial S murder because the instinct is biologically determined. And you can read it on the screen. I don't know if I should be saying it, so I'm not going to take a chance. But basically, whenever there's this kind of instinct and aspect to the serial killers, a lot of them are actually, they have a lot of the aspect in them for that part. So Dr. Catherine Ramsland, which is a professor of forensic psychology and criminal justice at DeSales University, if you study one case, you can identify the influences, but you can't generalize that from one to all others. You might find some things in common across many cases, such as abuse or head injuries, but it won't be true of all serial killers. And I have to agree with that because, I mean, like, think about it. Yeah, you have multiple serial killers and they all do different things in just the most horrendous, horrifying ways, but they're all going to be different. They're always going to have different reasons, different backgrounds, different things that they're doing this for, how it satisfies them, which is disgusting, but it's the truth. But I like how she said it because you can identify like influences of what can kind of, maybe make them think that way, but you can't generalize it from one to the other. They're all different. There are some of the rehabilitation programs for prisons that look good on paper and are just implemented poorly. Yeah, I can agree with that. They don't follow through like they should, or the inmates just choose not to participate. Sometimes they don't think that they need it. They don't want to admit it. Whatever the reason is, if they're not taking full advantage of it, and if the prisons aren't implementing it properly, it's definitely a failing system. Evil is evil, end of story. There is no excuses. No, I agree with that. And like I was reading this is just, what causes them to do that? It's like no matter how many articles like this that we read and no matter how many documentaries we watch on this, we're still not going to be able to rationalize it in our minds. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why he did it. Like that's not a thing. You know what I mean? Nothing they say in these articles or whatever trying to help you understand how serial killers' minds work, there's nothing to justify or rationalize it in our minds. Period. Environmental factors are huge, and so are the person's relationship with their mother. Yeah, I can see that. The environmental factors and the person's relationship with their mother. Yeah, and I'm guessing, Sifa, you've looked more into, in depth in different serial killers, and that's something that I have not done. I just like I'm not intrigued with it. It's just I guess try to make sense of it is more my thing, but I don't think studying each documentary is going to give me that answer. I don't think anything will because we can't relate. So Wisco says, I think a lot of my problem with it is that prisons are did you mean incentivized? Incentivized to have a high occupancy, especially private prisons. So there's no incentive to rehabilitate. Yeah, I can see that. And I completely get it. The prison system, the rehabilitating, preparing to have them back into society, it's all a mess. Welcome in, Blazing Star. It's okay. You're all right. I only covered one case before this, which was a found safe, but the little girl was 13 years old and basically saved herself by writing a sign that said, "Help me." and having the public call 911, and she was rescued. So until then, I was just covering serial killers and just chatting with you all. Ramsland, isn't that who Kohlberger studied under? Oh, I'm not sure, Sifa. Is that one of the names? Oh, hold on. What are you talking about? Ramsland. It says at the sales. Maybe. I'm not sure. So Kohlberger studied under Catherine Ramsland, a renowned forensic psychologist and expert on serial killers at DeSales University in Pennsylvania. So that is very interesting and very disturbing all at the same time. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stuff, the latest with the Kohlberger thing that recently came out, but this whole thing with this alibi just already has me wondering, like, what is really going on? What kind of information they have that's going to give him an alibi? What if it's not really an alibi and this is just his way of being exonerated, which is what he said was going to happen when they arrested him? I'm going to be exonerated. He's pretty confident. So I don't know. The first time the Kohlberger case even came across the screen, the first time I ever saw it, the first thing I thought was that it was a serial killer until they caught him, and then it got crazy. But that's interesting that he did. Okay, so the lady that is in this interview on this article is somebody who Kohlberger studied under. That's interesting. Good job, Sifa. Melissa, welcome in and welcome to membership. Uh-oh, MJ. It's all good. I know you're here in spirit. All right, so how do you know a murderer is a serial killer? So Scott Bond says the way that you know that there's a serial killer is because they leave consistent markings, consistent evidence that you're dealing with the same individual. And I just want to put this out there that this article is these guys' opinions, theories based on their own studying and knowledge that they have. So I'm just reading it to you guys, sharing it with you all. I'm just trying to get an idea of what, like, these people who are experts, what are they thinking and trying to make it make sense, because honestly, it doesn't make sense in my brain. What's up, PJ? Welcome to membership. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm glad you can make it. All right, so the Lewis person, I'm not gonna say his last name. I don't want to mess up his last name. He says if you look at serial sexual murderers, they very often do things with the body above and beyond what is necessary to kill the person, like leaving the victim in a degrading position. And I don't have to read the rest of that. Why do they do that? And the answer is because killing alone is not psychosexually sufficient. So they have to go above and beyond killing to gratify themselves. That is disgusting. And I know it exists. I know it's real. And they really have people that are out there like that. It's just very disturbing. Oh, I wanted to. What did I do? Hold on, guys. I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm up here messing around with all kind of stuff. All right. So, what factors influence a person to become a serial killer? Again, this is their opinions, their theories. So, Ramsland, and this is who Kohlberger studied under. There is a great deal of variation in this population from a range of motives, backgrounds, ages, and behaviors to differences in physiology, sex, mental state, and perceptions that influence reasoning and decisions. Each person uniquely processes a given situation in their lives, and some gravitate toward violence. This can be defensive violence or aggressive, psychotic or psychopathic, reactive or predatory, to name some possibilities. Any factor, abuse, neglect, deviance, or bullying, might have different influences on different people, and new experiences can modify perceptions positively or negatively. So, her interpretation of that is interesting. Neglect is another huge one, but that goes without the mother thing. Yeah, neglect in general. I think, and like I said, I don't know the mind of a serial killer, but you would think that there is some kind of rooted trauma, something going on that led to that. And even like you said, if it's not a mother thing, maybe it was just neglect, period, by anyone and everyone in their lives, being bullied, being mistreated. All right, sorry about that. They have an interesting opinion on this. Very interesting, right? That's what I was saying, PJ. I thought it would be interesting. Sigmund Freud explains the whole mommy issue thing. Yeah, they go into detail on that. The bullying aspect is what people try to claim with Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Can't spell his name. Um, so these are these two other serial killers that you're talking about, Sifa? Right, let's go. Not having one is hard. A mother figure. Not having a mother figure is hard. I can attest to that. Right. But when does it become like, like some of these people have issues and it leads to them becoming serial killers? Like none of it can make it make sense in my brain. Oh, that's the two Columbine. Okay. So it was later been disproven that they were bullied. So that's what they tried to use, was that they were bullied. So they went on to do the whole shooting at Columbine. All right, so let's see. Do all serial killers suffer some sort of trauma? So Scott Bond, which if you notice his responses are always like really short and he doesn't elaborate much, but there can be a correlation between childhood trauma, but it's not enough to turn someone into a serial killer. It's numerous factors that become a perfect storm that turn a person into a serial killer. So the Lewis person said most people want to search for a watershed event in somebody's life that will explain this behavior. It's human nature. It's a natural tendency. He did it because his mother abused them. He did it because his traumatic event happened. But you're not going to find it. Poor parenting and childhood trauma, that never helps. But those in and of themselves are not dispositive for creating somebody who's going out and killing for sexual gratification in a series. Thousands of people have had horrible childhoods. They don't go around killing people in a series. And that's what I'm saying. So even though it can be deep rooted in like trauma from childhood, it's still not going to be the sole factor in making someone become a serial killer. They don't have the intelligence or emotional strength to work through it. Yeah, so I guess they just go on to a killing spree and then getting some kind of gratification from it, which is sick. Hoping for answers. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. I'm making sure I write this down. And like I said, likely Sunday or Monday when it'll make a week, I will be having a members only live. So that'll be a way we can all just like hang out and all that stuff. And Meg's right. Killers are just killers, period. A few of the surviving victims of Columbine have gone on to end their lives, unfortunately. They were never the same after the trauma of what happened. I remember reading that story when it first came out. That was the first school shooting I was aware of, and I was younger. I even read that one book that the family of one of the victims wrote, a girl. It was like from her diary and written by her dad, I believe. But either way, and the videos I've seen on the Columbine shooting, that was very scary. Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining, Hoping. All right, so let's see. Oh, so what's her name? Ramslin didn't comment on this question. I wish that she had. So, are all serial killers psychopaths? Scott says not all psychopaths are serial killers, and not all serial killers are psychopaths. Being a psychopath alone does not make one a serial killer. Something else has to happen. In the case of a serial killer who is a psychopath, their brain functions differently than a normal human brain. They process stimuli differently. In particular, the frontal lobe of the brain is where impulses are controlled. The thing that keeps you from just acting out on your initial knee jerk reaction and from just acting impulsively. Psychopaths have virtually no impulse control. See, and that's kind of where you can kind of understand, okay, that's where the disconnect is, because we usually have an impulse control. Most people, these people that don't, that's the people that go on to do psychopathic behavior. Many psychopaths function incredibly well and highly in society because they're very driven, motivated individuals, goal oriented. They are described as very organized, very persuasive, and very patient. These are characteristics that make a great architect or a great salesman, but they're also perfect attributes if you want to be a psychopathic killer. So Lewis says the American people want their serial sexual murderers to be evil geniuses with IQs of 180 that speak 5 languages. Nothing could be further from the truth. The vast majority are unskilled, unemployed, menial work type people. Bundy is an outlier. So his was pretty much straightforward, straight to whatever he thought. Sifa, welcome to membership. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you all. I love you all. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right there on that one because I don't want to get too much into, that this topic. So I'll drop the link for that in chat if anyone is interested on reading more about it. Okay, yeah, that's the article I was reading. Okay, I'm going to take a break right here and just catch up and chat with you guys. How's y'all's evening going? Sorry if it's loud in my background. The voices carry through the walls here. Go tell your dad I said be quiet. I'm just kidding. So that's the link to that article. It does go into a little bit more detail. So, Sifa, if you're still in chat, Nathan said to tell you he misses you. Just wanted to throw that out there. By the way, Nathan is a family member of mine, guys. Okay. I'll let Micah know. I don't know why she's actually supposed to be doing a live at 8:30. She's looking for the charger to her laptop right now, but so if she can't find it, she'll just go live on mine, so it's no issue. Oh, my cousin, I just finished cooking. How you doing? That means I get to eat soon. This looks up and said, "Oh, Legion." Oh my gosh. All right. So the last story I'm covering.
You want me to get you some food?
I'm gonna fix it in a minute. Thank you. He said to tell you to do some horror games and he'll be there.
I've been streaming. You just haven't been there.
You haven't been very present, Sifa. You gotta go join his Twitch. I mean, go join in his stream. Okay. So this one was sent to me. I don't know. Honestly, I can't remember who sent this to me because I've had so many people send so many things that I've just been bookmarking and trying to remember to get back to and cover. So to whoever sent this to me, thank you. Let's see. All right. So a baby was trapped in a hot car, but was saved after the crowd smashes the windshield. And this was Monday, July 24th. So it's okay. It says it's hot out there, especially in Texas, as temperatures have been trending well into the triple digits over the last couple of weeks. So, when a South Texas family accidentally locked the keys in the car along with their baby, several bystanders went into action to help get him out. Footage from one of the individuals at the scene shows a man smashing the windshield with some sort of instrument before another man then takes his place and starts bashing. After making a hole, the man reaches in through the windshield area. The footage then jumps a bit after someone, reportedly a woman, went into the car to retrieve the baby. After that, you can see the child crying as they're lifted through the windshield into the arms of the second man. So, like, while this is like an awesome story and they were able to get the baby out, isn't the windshield the hardest window to break because of like the protected like the thing that's on the windshield? I don't can't English right now. What is it?
What?
Like when you're trying to break. Okay, so most of you in here have watched a lot of AWP's videos, and when they use the window breaker, they talk about like the passenger side windows and all those things are the easiest to break. The windshield is actually the hardest to break. But I'm so glad that they got this baby out. Thank you, PJ, for sharing.
I'm pretty sure it's because of like
Maybe it was where the baby was sitting. Maybe I can't see the car very well. I don't know how big the car is. Maybe that was the best way to do it, but I'm just glad they got the baby out. I can't read more. Okay. Let's see. So the whole situation reportedly took place in the parking lot of an HEB. Oh wow, I've been there a bunch of times. HEB grocery store in Harlingen, Texas. The heat index the day this happened was over 100 degrees, according to the news outlet. It was likely even hotter in that parking lot. Right now, Fox reports that we don't know how long the child was in there before they were rescued, but according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, it takes as little as 10 minutes for a car to heat up by 20 degrees. At any rate, it was very hot in that little crossover. So it was a crossover vehicle. To make matters even more dire for those involved, they point out that the children's body temperature actually rises 3 to 5 times faster than adults. According to USA Today, at least 14 children have already been killed because they were left in hot cars this year. That brings the total number of deaths to 1,000 over the past 3 decades. Wow, that is way too many. Yes, Wisco, that's what I was talking about. It's a plastic layer, so it's one of the hardest windows to actually break. But I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know why, they thought it was the best solution to go through the windshield. However they did it, they were able to get him out. So it's so you can kick the windshield out if you're trapped. Oh, that makes sense. Judy, good evening. Where have you been? I was waiting for you to pop up in here. Right, Tifa? I like my whole family knows you. Yes, creators, remember to type link drop for your channel. Tempered. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. The tempered. And so the windshield doesn't shatter in your lap in an accident, although that doesn't always work, right? But yeah, that's what I meant was the tempered. That way you don't get big chunks of glass cutting you into pieces, right? And yeah, they do make the glass breakers. I've been saying I needed to get one. I need to. I'm surrounded by water here. So I need to do that. Hi, Micah. How are you? No, it is tempered glass. I remember now. I remember when they were doing the demonstration on how to use their window breakers, and they said that it was the tempered glass. Like some of the newer vehicles on like the front driver and passenger side even have the tempered glass, which kind of makes it sometimes hard to use with the window breakers. But definitely they said not to try the windshield because it was the hardest part. It was hardest window to break. Killshot's being a spammer. Yeah, it's good to see you, Lee. Did you find the charger, by the way? I know you were looking for the charger for the laptop. I'm guessing you found it, or are you just in chat? Okay, so going off of that article, we have, and like they were saying, every year, every summer, you hear about a child being left in a vehicle. You hear about someone forgetting their child. Like it's horrible. It Every time I see it, it makes me so extremely upset, except for like, I mean, like this case, I can understand she locked her keys in there and probably immediately went into panic mode and they did what they had to do to get her baby out. That was, completely accidental. But there are so many cases where this happens and it is not an accident. And I don't understand and never will. Like, how do you forget that your child is in the car? I don't get it. Okay, so now I'm gonna thank you for this super chat, kill shot. No, it's not. Look it up. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up tempered glass because I'm pretty sure. Let's see. There's other guys here in the chat. You guys chime in. Is the windshield tempered glass or is tempered glass only on the sides? Either way, Killshot, you got my mind going because I was trying to think of the tempered glass. So let me look this up. Are windshields made of tempered glass? So it's laminated glass. Most vehicle windshields are made of laminated glass. They're considered to be effective for preventing break ins because of the effort required to break them. Okay, but there is tempered glass windows also. Wisco, what's that error for you? Hey, Cotton Candy. Aw, thank you, PJ, for sending her. Welcome to the channel, Cotton Candy. Welcome to our little community here. Glad to have you aboard. Laminated glass in the front and back, tempered side window. Had to Google it. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, right? That was such a supper chat. Let's go. There's your typo, but super chat. Yeah, of course. Yes. And he's basically calling himself out. Like, no, I had it wrong. But hey, tempered glass did ring a bell in my brain. So you did something. Yeah, glad to have you here, Cotton Candy. I think I did sub to you as well from PJ's channel, but I'm going to go make sure just to be sure. Okay. Yep. I just subbed to you. Let me drop yours in chat. So there's a link for Cotton Candy coming over from PJ's channel. You guys sub up if y'all can. Show them some support. All right, let's see. Okay, so the sides are tempered. Okay. All right. All right. Windows are laminated. I got you. She's live. What? Is Micah live right now? I don't. Hers is like in an hour. Okay. Oh, Sifa, it's not that I don't listen, it's that I didn't see that you already dropped their channel. So hey, we got their channel up there twice. Y'all go and sub up if y'all feel the need. But coming from PJ's channel, it's good people. We're building a good community here. Getting on the road. Drive safe, Tracy. All right. So back again to the children who were found in vehicles that died to being stuck in the car because their parents left them or their sitters left them or for whatever reason they were left in a car. I just thought this was interesting. Um, this is why the heat can be deadly. So the heat taking over much of the US was nearly deadly for a baby in South Texas, with the viral video showing people having to break through the car's windshield to save him after he was accidentally locked inside with the keys. While the baby was saved and is believed to be okay, the incident is highlighting just how catastrophic extreme heat can be in parked vehicles. Extreme heat is the number one weather related killer in the US. Even when temperatures outside seem relatively low compared with what's been experienced in recent weeks, parked vehicles essentially become ovens under the sun's rays. Oh, she was saying she may have to move it. Well, just let us know, Micah. We'll figure it out. Really, Safa? Thank y'all for subbing up too. Yeah, and I thought I had subbed when she was in PJs, but I do remember chatting with her and seeing her. So again, welcome to our little community here. We're a group of several creators together that are just trying to come together and do better for the world. So thank you for being here. Hold on one second. My cousin is demanding my attention. Um, I wanted to. So I had covered. Okay, for summer. Yeah, I'm ADD. I'm all over the place. I know. I'm sorry, guys, but you it's me. I'm being me. I'm real. Um, Cotton Candy, that's awesome that you still, well, you like forever share Summer. Summer Wells also has a place in my heart with so many. I have a video that I have on my channel that's called A Voice for the Voiceless. And those are the cases that really, really like just drew me in. And I can't ever forget them. And I mean, there's going to be a lot more because sadly, we know this happens way too often with these missing persons and missing children. And they don't just vanish. People don't just vanish. You know, someone knows something, and it really, really frustrates me. But good for you for always covering for Summer because I've wanted to cover her case. And it's just so complex. There's so many characters. There was so much drama surrounding her case on the YouTube streets, and it got so the story got so confusing. So but I would love to do a live on Summer if anyone is ever interested in that. That's something that I might put into one of my polls for members, and yeah, that'll be definitely a live that we could cover. Okay, let me finish this article. So how hot can a car get in the sun? All it takes is an 80-degree Fahrenheit day to bring the normal car temperature to triple digits. Wow. And that's scary because like in Texas and here even we've our numbers are already in the high 90s, you know? So can you imagine? And they have that happen here. We've had so many that have happened locally where they've left their children in the car and they die from being in the heat. It's sad. After just 20 minutes on an 80-degree day, the CDC says the inside of a car can hit 109 degrees. After 40 minutes, it hits 118 degrees. And after an hour, it can hit 123 degrees. And when you look at some of the cases, some of these kids were in there. There was one that was so disturbing because she had her child in the back of her car. She usually dropped her child off to daycare before she went to work, which she herself worked in a school. She went to work and did her whole work day and didn't realize her kid was in her car until the end of her work day. So that child, and I don't remember the circumstances, I don't know the temperatures that day, but it was a very hot day. And she was in there for well over, an hour, 2 hours. I mean, we're talking an 8 hour, what is it, 6 to 8 hours school day? Like, that is extreme. So that means on days when cities are experiencing triple digits temperatures, like Phoenix has been for weeks on end, those temperatures become even hotter in a short amount of time. Cars can quickly heat up to dangerous temperatures even with the window cracked open. While anyone left in a parked car is at risk, children are especially at risk of getting a heat stroke or dying. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying to catch up. Okay, let me see. Melissa, I didn't cover summer either. I do play a video almost every day of just her pictures and the missing posters and TBI number. I don't monetize either. That's awesome that you do have so much awareness going on for summer wells. I think that's amazing. And I see people in chat that want me to do a live on summer. Yeah. Like I said, her case just, that's actually something we can probably do. If anyone's open to it, we can probably do it as a panel, because I know there's several people that are into the Summer Wells case. I know Micah is, so now we know, Cotton Candy. A lot of people are, but her case does need to be talked about. Someone knows something, and it bothers me. So yeah, if I'll put out a poll and we can figure it out. But that's definitely something I can cover because, like I said, her case does mean a lot to me. Oh, thank you, PJ. Right? We have all adopted each other. We're all one. Yeah, this is a no drama zone. We keep it laid back and peaceful here. Do a summer update. That's where the problem is, Melissa. I don't even know what the update is. I just know that she still hasn't been found. There hasn't been any new information that has come out regarding her case. The boys are still in custody of the state, I believe, or maybe in a foster system. Maybe someone can correct me on that part. But I do know that the Wells have now moved away from their home in Tennessee. Awesome, PJ. Yeah, it's definitely something that we can do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Wisco. So he's saying this chart doesn't account for elevation. Denver would be way hotter, right? A lot of places would be way hotter, because this is just them, I guess, like an average. This chart provided by the National Weather Service shows how different temperatures outside can cause the temperature inside a vehicle to spike within minutes. That's sad, and I can't imagine what the children being left in these vehicles go through. Like, it's horrible. Objects within the car can get even hotter, posing a risk of burns. According to the National Weather Service, the atmosphere within the car is warmed little compared to that of the objects within the car. A dark dashboard or a seat, for example, can easily reach temperatures in the range of 180 to more than 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Like my car has dark interior, it's black leather seats. Can you imagine the temperature of my car on when we have our temperatures at 96, 98 degrees? The temperature inside my car gets to be really hot. So these objects, such as the dashboard, the steering wheel, or the child seat, these objects heat the adjacent air by conduction and convection and also give off long wave radiation, which is very efficient at warming the air trapped inside of a vehicle. In Phoenix, which has seen weeks on end with triple digit temperatures, Dr. Kevin Foster of the Arizona Burn Center told NPR that seat belt buckles can also get so hot that they lead to burns. The interior of an automobile, particularly one with dark upholstery, can get to 160 or 170 degrees. The worst thing to do is to touch something that's metal inside the car that's been exposed to direct sunlight, like a seatbelt buckle. When it comes to car safety in the heat, various agencies share one common message: do not leave children or pets in a closed vehicle with the windows up. Say that louder for the people in the back that need to hear that, because I don't think any parent should ever have to be reminded of that. I don't know what the heck I keep doing with these little things. Sorry, y'all. I'm reading, catching up. Last I heard, Dawn moved. Oh, wow. See, that's what I mean. It's always unfolding. It's always something new. And I can't. I used to keep up with it all. Like I was on top of it. I was watching all of it. And then when Kylie's case happened, I lost um the information wasn't coming through, and it was starting to become a lot more drama with, once Dawn went to jail, there was a lot of things that unfolded on YouTube with creators, and it was getting to be really messy. So I would just check up every now and then and see if there were any updates, and there hasn't been. So cotton candy, that is exactly how I feel. I'll never understand how a parent can forget their child in the car. Like, you won't forget your phone, so how are you going to forget your child? It's super frustrating. My kids loved hiding in the clothes in Walmart. I freaked out. Oh, yeah, I've done that as a kid. I don't think I have had my kid do that, but yeah. And that's scary, especially in today's world. Can you imagine? Yeah, it is. It is a thing. Okay, so for those who are members, so when you click in the chat under the emoji on the emoji thing, I do have four emojis that are available for members. There's one that says facts. There's a daisy. There's our handprint. And then this one says together we can. Together We Can is something that the Gabby Petito Foundation, the Petitos and the Schmidts, that is a hashtag they use often. And for missing persons, for DV situations, together we can. And it means a lot to me also in many ways, because together we can try to bring these missing children home. Together we can work together and become a community of like-minded folks who have, just want to do good in the world, including on YouTube. We just want to do good. We don't want drama. And I think together we can, it just makes a huge statement. It's a very bold statement, but I believe that it's something that we should try to get out there, not just like for my channel. Like I said, it was the Petitos and the Schmidts that I noticed started using the hashtag a lot. And I've noticed a lot of others are starting to use it on TikTok. on Instagram and different social media platforms. So it's something that I'm always going to use because I believe that together we are better. It's so much easier whenever you can ignore the negativity, focus on the positivity, build each other up, support each other. And, we all have a great community here. We have a group of people who communicate and, we all try to work around each other and send each other's lives and, you know what I mean? And like just work together to build an awesome community covering different things, different very important topics going from, missing persons, true crime and missing persons to mental health topics, to the things going on in the world around us as a society, the homelessness situations. We have lots of genres here, lots of creators that are coming together, and I love every one of you. And I am so glad to be a part of what we are building. So, yeah, again, thank you to everyone who's here, who is always in our chats and supporting all of us. I appreciate you all. Thank you to those who have forgiven, and that the past is the past. We don't live there anymore. We can put that behind us. And like I said, I think together we can. Together we got this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it on that note because I covered it pretty much what I wanted to cover. I have a live, let's see, I'm actually being productive and I have a planner where I am trying to be on a more scheduled basis. Of course, there will be times when there's updates or there's breaking news, and just I'll try to get the word out there and share the live as soon as I can. But yeah, I'm going to try to get onto a schedule to where, you guys can kind of know when I'm going live and just be more consistent and not overdo it myself. Have some downtime in between and things like that. So, but let's see. My next live will be tomorrow evening at some time. And PJ, I was going to get with you on this if you're still here. It's actually the cold case. Well, it was a cold case, and I think it recently all came to light. Many of you probably in here have been sending it to me, whether it be Judy, Kristen, I'm not sure who, but it's the Gretchen Harrington case. And so I'm going to be doing some research on that one, and I'm going to do a live on it Thursday, and it can be open panel. So if anyone is interested, let me know, shoot me a message, and we can have an open panel night on Thursday. Oh, I don't see. Oh, there she is. Hi, Signs. I don't know how I'd ever say her name. Signs Camillo. I'll just call you Camillo. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Sifa, for dropping her link. Yeah, PJ. So Gretchen Harrington, it's been all over. I want to say it's some recent events that led to all the information that's come out recently. So I'm gonna have to brush up on that, but definitely tomorrow night I'm trying to do a live on that one. So I'll get with you guys and let you know for sure. No problem, Cotton Candy. You're always welcome here. And like I said, thank you. Yeah, it might be. And yeah, Kristen, murdered in 1975. So it might be you that sent it to me, Kristen. I try to pin stuff, but I can't pin anything anymore in our messages. I don't know why. So I've been doing the old school method, writing things down, typing it in my notes so I don't forget. Yeah, and it's good to have you here, Camilo. I had seen your name before in different chats. I don't know if I maybe PJ's. I really don't know, but your name is familiar. Guilty. You said, yeah, okay. No problem. Thank you, Kristen. Like I said, it intrigued me. I definitely want to dig into it, and we can do it together on a panel. Whoever wants to join, you guys just let me know. I'm gonna drop 2 more commands, and then I'm gonna end the live. But again, thank you all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to the new members. You guys are appreciated more than you know. And I will see you over in Mike is live at 8, and then PJ is live at 8:30. So don't forget to go to their channels and hit the notify me so that you can be aware of their lives coming up. Yes, if I shouted you out earlier. Hold on just a second. Sifa, I did shout you out. Hold on. I think it stars it for me, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so our new members tonight are Sifa, Hoping for Answers, and Melissa. Thank you for joining. Kristen, again, thanks for the super chat. And Killshot, thank you for your super chat correcting yourself. Let's see. Nightbot does not hate you. What's going on? Okay, y'all have a great evening. I'll see y'all around on the YouTube streets.